Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, bitches.
Happy Monday, bitches. How are we feeling?
I'm great. I'm really good.
Yeah.
I've had a nice weekend, but the hay fever's kicking in.
Oh, spring has sprung.
Oh, spring sprung.
Spring has sprung.
Big time.
Yeah.
Drippy nose, couldn't sleep, eyeballs twitching.
Oh.
I'm in the swing of it.
Not a happy clam.
Not a happy clam right now. Looking up injections for hay fever this morning. I was in the
hay fever's number one enemy.
Oh, I actually am, and I know it's February. Actually, does this come out in March?
Comes out in March.
I know it's March. I know it's March, but I get it so early. I genuinely get it so early.
And I was saying, actually, it's been quite windy recently. I'm like old man Yeller. I'm like, the wind has been quite bad recently.
The wind's been hitting me.
So, and it picks up the pollen.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
So, there's your answer.
How are you feeling this week?
I'm feeling fabulous.
Yeah, busy week, to be fair.
I'm feeling good. It's a more chilled week this week, which I'm loving.
Nice. Actually, you had some great drama last week.
Had some great drama. There's nothing better than boy drama. I love it.
There's nothing better than boy drama.
I love it.
And you know the best bit is when you tell a story or you're continuing a story with a friend and it's the exact same story, you just add one little thing in and all of a sudden it needs to be dissected again.
Every single time.
It's just like one thing and it's like, shit, this is a huge deal.
Shit, I remember he looked at me more than once actually at this point, so let's sit back down.
And when he moved his hair, it was like a whole new thing.
Like, there was tone behind that.
It was sexual tension, yeah.
Real.
It's real. Okay, so we've got an exciting episode.
We have such an exciting episode.
So let's crack on. Tell me your mantra for this week.
My mantra is...
Yeah.
Mother knows best.
Oh! Yeah. Mother knows best.
She does.
That? Mother knows best. Listen to your mum's ear. Oh, Tango, what tune! So obviously, guys, it is Mother's Day this weekend. Mother's Day on Sunday, so make sure you get the cards in.
Mothering Sunday.
Yeah, guys, remember, make sure you celebrate it in whatever way you can.
Yes,
whether
absolutely.
That's a card, whether that's just remembering a lovely memory, or just make sure you remember it.
Absolutely, yeah.
My mantra is, no matter what age, I'll always need my mum. And it's actually just so true. Like, I remember when we first went to Mount View and I thought I was the Oracle. I was like, okay, I got this now. Big chief.
Slick Rick.
I've got it now, I was like, you can all believe me. I was like, I've got... No. I was just genuinely like, oh my God, there are fit people around, what do I do? I was like, I've got an STD, do I shag them then or not? No, not STD, STI. UTI. This is why I need my mum. Oh God, that's STD. No STD. Okay, just for clarification, down the camera, never had an STD. Not that there's any shame, but I just haven't. Yeah. Okay, tell me your song.
My song is Queen by Jessie J.
Oh,
I love my body. I love my skin.
Oh, lovely.
I am a goddess. I am a queen.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, put a bit of the anthem on this week.
Empowering,
lovely,
feminine anthem.
Oh, there's nothing better than like a feminine, empowering anthem that you feel's in your body.
Yeah, where it recognises all your body does for you.
Yeah.
And on the subject of Mother's Day, what, birthing a child?
There's no grief.
Are you serious?
No, are you joking me?
Wild.
That actually terrifies me. Like, it's genuinely, like, I stay up at night, like and like, that shit is scary. Okay, so my song is Mama Do the Hump by Rizzle Kicks. And it's got to be a dedication to my own mumsy because she loves this song. And you wouldn't think it, but she's like, Mama do the hump, Mama do the hump. And it is a banger. It's such a good tune.
That had a chokehold on me.
Let's do our recommendations.
Yes.
Are you ready? Recommendations. Okay, guys. So recommendation this week is Oliver Bonus because they have the greatest Mother's Day cards.
They do.
They're just so good. So if you're thinking, oh God, I don't know where to get a Mother's Day card, make sure you go to Oliver Bonus. Obey. As one of our friends would say, obey. So make sure you go. Okay, so should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So we would like to introduce our very special guest for this week, which is Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah.
And the guest is the mother. In fact, my mother. Here she is. Turn to the left. Eileen McNeill. Here she is. Welcome to the Debrief podcast. How are you feeling?
Oh my goodness. I think I was feeling all right until I've heard you girls sort of starting it off. Now I'm terrified.
We are so excited.
It's kicked in now.
It can be like that though. It always feels like, oh gosh. I mean, we feel it. We had it on a guest last week, and you feel so much pressure. You think, we've got to be good. We've got to. And at the end of the day, it's a conversation, and it's fun, and that's what a podcast is all about.
Yeah, I like that. Be gentle, girls.
We'll be gentle. We'll be absolutely gentle.
Don't give this mum the hump.
No.
Be gentle.
No, not at all. So Mother's Day's on Sunday, which is really lovely. But we just wanted to say, before we get into it, that Mother's Day is a very special time to recognise your relationship with your mother, and there are points that people in their life unfortunately aren't as fortunate to celebrate it with their mum for all different reasons. And we just wanted to recognise that we are in a fortunate position where I can spend it with my lovely mum and your lovely mum. But some people have gone through a lot where that's not possible. So we just wanted to reach out and say that we hope you're okay, and that Mother's Day is still special for you.
Treat yourself with kindness.
Yes, make sure.
That's really beautifully said. Because unfortunately for some mums or some women generally, Mother's Day can be the saddest day of the year.
It definitely can be.
Really well said.
So I hope that everyone takes the time to just feel that whatever situation they are in, that they are still willing to be able to celebrate that time.
Absolutely.
Okay, are you ready to go into Debrief?
I think so.
Okay. Let's debrief. Fantastic. Okay, so let's start off.
Okay.
So before we get into it, contrary to popular belief, Mother's Day has only been celebrated for the last 117 years, since 1907. Anna Jarvis held the first Mother's Day service of worship in West Virginia. So for a long time, this whole Mother's Day thing was not celebrated. The cars weren't in, Tesco's.
I wonder,
the flowers weren't there. Whereas now it is such a significant thing. It's a really big holiday that is celebrated. How do you feel about that? Do you love the holiday? Do you enjoy it?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I've celebrated Mother's Day for 23 years now. And, I do love it.
Yeah.
It also, for me, heralds the start of spring.
That's true.
Yeah, okay.
So it's time to sort of get the black and dark clothes pushed to the back of the wardrobe. And the nice bright clothes, but, I'll be wearing on Sunday. So I do love it. I've always loved Mother's Day. It's a really special time. And at the end of the day, we all have mums. And so it's lovely to be able to, reflect back and recognise that and feel gratitude and slightly humbled by it. But I do love it. I love having us all together for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's
really nice.
Yeah, it's so nice. I think it is such a holiday that can be, overlooked. Oh, what you do for Mother's Day? Oh, nothing, just sent a card. But actually, it should be celebrated and it should be recognised. Whether that is simply...
Celebrate me.
You should. You squeeze two people out. You can celebrate whatever you damn want.
Honestly, thank you, my love.
You go, mummy. I've got you. I've got you. On Mother's Day, lots of people can get it wrong. And we wanted to hear from the horse's mouth how you can do Mother's Day to the best you possibly can. So for Mother's Day, people say, I never send a card or I don't send flowers. On Mother's Day, what do mothers want / expect? What would be the ideal?
Wow.
Dream day.
She's like, holiday. I'm like,
I wake up in the Maldives.
In my dream. But the reality, no, that doesn't happen. I think 3 things for me. Definitely card, flowers, and having a beautiful lunch. But having that sentimental card is absolutely the top thing for me. I mean, we are such a big family of cards anyway, don't we? Love our cards.
Oh, you do.
We do.
You do.
In fact, with our cards, we read them out to each other.
Oh, yes.
Do you?
We do.
Oh, my gosh.
We do.
Poor Archie's happy about it. He's getting used to it, isn't
Archie
he?
shits himself because he knows that if there's an event, he has to give a card and we will all read it out to each other.
Oh, my God, I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Picking up Archie's card, going, thank you, it started reading, and he's going, I'll be gentle.
No, honestly, I love it. I'd never met someone who'd written such long, detailed cards until I met you.
Oh, yeah.
And you love it.
Well, you know what it's like in the
It's
McNeill
great.
household. It's not just about the card, it's about the competition.
It's a competition as well.
So who can make you
Absolutely.
cry? Yeah.
They're the defo winners.
Yeah.
If you can write that beautiful sentimental card and make that person weep,
Yes.
then you won.
Yeah,
Ideally,
yeah.
yeah.
And you've done it well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we love that. So that sentimental card.
Okay,
I
that's
lovely.
just love that. I
Yeah.
really do. And then I love flowers, don't I?
Yeah.
So,
What are
and
your
spring-
favourites?
For when I think of Mother's Day, I think of tulips. Even though I think carnations are supposed to be an official flower for Mother's Day, but
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but well, it is in Australia.
Oh, okay.
A red carnation, which red over here tends to signify more romantic love,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but a red carnation is a Mother's Day thing back in Australia.
Oh,
it's a different
lovely.
time of year as well, of course.
Well, I've been
isn't
told.
it?
Never got a fucking carnation, have I? So I'm shitting myself now, yeah. And
But
what's
yeah,
that?
tulips, I love.
So what's that want/expectation? What's the difference between that? So the want is I'd love a card, and I'd
Yeah.
love the flowers. Is there an expectation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good.
I'd
good.
be so upset, you
Yeah.
know. Of course, there's going to be times when we're not going to be able to be together for Mother's Day for
Yeah.
whatever reason. But unless you've broken both your arms, you know, I'd really like to have that card.
You can send a card. You can send a card. Yeah, because I think as well, it's the whole. You know, some mothers say, "Oh, don't send me anything," even with
I know.
birthday.
Yeah,
don't no
yeah.
card, no anything. And I think even if your mum says no, nothing, a card,
Yeah.
just a card
It's not
can
a big
do
thing,
anything.
is it?
Yeah,
You know,
so
you've
true.
got that canvas there to write whatever you want to on that card, and I love that.
Sadly, your mum has passed,
Yeah.
but and your mum lived in Australia, so
Yeah.
there was that big difference.
Yeah.
Did you send her a card every Mother's Day then?
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've also got to admit that I would forget a couple of times because it's
different.
It's a different,
It's a different
time of year.
year.
You know, in Australia, we follow the American Mother's Day date, which is in May. So it's towards the end of May.
yeah.
So it's autumn time. And you know, when I first moved, I forgot.
Yeah.
But I've also used to send Mum a Mother's Day out of the blue in March. What's this? So you know,
An early one,
an early
one,
Mother's
yeah.
Day. But yeah, so I did used to. I mean, when we were kids, I talked to my sister about this recently, and she can remember as well. It was always a big thing in schools, having to, you know, getting you to make your Mother's Day cards.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I remember
yes,
doing
you
that.
would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I have kept at home every single Mother's Day card you have ever given me, and every Christmas card, birthday card, I've got them all. And looking back at those little ones that you have to, you know, make in school, I've still got those. And I remember doing that for my own mum too. Yeah.
I think it's special as well because, as we touched on earlier, some people either financially just can't or
Yeah.
they're too young to.
Yeah.
You know, and even with divorced parents, that can be difficult if the dad hasn't reminded you. And, you know, as children, that's really difficult. So
Yeah.
when schools pick that up,
Yeah.
that's a great way
Yeah,
it is
of
lovely.
doing it. Yeah.
But the other thing that it's hard to say I expect, but I really love is the Mother's Day lunch.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
and it is always beautiful because I book it myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she does. She does.
You
Every
don't
year.
leave, certain things you don't leave to chance.
No.
in our family. So I do that myself.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And that, I mean, that's a wonderful thing. I love just getting together and having a lovely lunch somewhere and chewing the fat. It's always emotional stuff, talking about matters of the heart, how the year has been.
Yeah.
And then when you were very little, of course, it wasn't so much that, it was a day trip.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
going out for Mother's Day, whether it was...
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
how
Can you
interesting.
remember Hesketh Farm near Bolton Abbey? Remember going there for one Mother's Day?
Oh, with all the guinea pigs
Cuddling
and
the
stuff.
guinea
Yes.
pigs.
Yes, I
We
do
do
remember that. Yeah.
Or going to Fountains Abbey, or going to Betty's. You ever gone to Betty's in York and
I love a bit of
Harrogate?
Betty's.
I love
Yeah.
a Betty's.
Can I ask though, because obviously
Yeah.
when we were younger, it was so much more accessible.
Yeah.
You know, we'd lived with you, so if
Yeah.
mum and dad had planned a day trip,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were going
yeah.
on the day
Absolutely
trip.
you were.
But
Yeah.
but now Lil and I are both, you know, spreading our wings, and we're both living in London. Is that does it make it more special?
Yeah, it
that
does.
Celebrating it now that you've come home and it's okay, we get this time together.
Yeah. It is just special on a different level, all through your ages, when you're wee babbies to, you know, toddlers and at school. And now this stage, I'm still learning as I go too at this stage, don't
Yeah.
forget. You know, I'm sort of finding my feet. What is it like to be a mum with an empty nest?
Yeah.
But And really, we haven't had many Mother's Days with you girls away.
Yeah.
And the only Mother's Day we've never celebrated together, Kitty, was last year. Can you remember where we were? I'll give you a hint. 3 of us were together. You too, Katie.
Oh.
We were in bloody Barcelona. The boys were doing the marathon.
Oh my gosh!
That was Mother's Day.
Oh my gosh! Of course it was.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And I brought the card with me. I remember. Yeah.
And Lily couldn't
interesting.
be there.
Yeah.
I can't remember why
yeah.
she couldn't come to Barcelona, but yeah. So she wasn't there. And then the actual Mother's Day on the Sunday after the marathon.
Yeah.
We had, probably Archie would have organised that gorgeous place for lunch.
Lovely place.
Yeah.
You'd had a touch of the old food poisoning from that frozen pizza.
Oh my God, yeah. That was
So you
was
weren't even
spewing
there.
blood. Yeah. I was not enjoying
That
that.
was not good.
No.
Yeah. So that's the only one that we haven't really celebrated. But I do still like the thought of, I can imagine, just dropping some hints now, the spa day. Something like that would be nice. Things that are a little bit more mature, I suppose.
Yes, completely.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So if it was ever the case that you couldn't celebrate Mother's Day with your kids, would you still want the expectation to celebrate the day fully, so you get your husband on it to book the lunch and get your appreciation
Oh
in?
yeah, definitely. And I think having your partner, your hubby involved with Mother's Day and showing that appreciation, going through all the memories of what you've shared together, and when you were very little, I suppose it's similar in the sense that you were there but you weren't. Fraser would, your dad would always make sure, let me have a sleep in, bring in breakfast, and
nice.
bring the littlies in, and then we'd organise something. But then as you're getting older, and as I said before, I'm sure there's going to be times where we're not all going to be together for Mother's Day. I would hope that, and I know your dad is a sentimental man, and he would still mark that occasion.
Yeah.
Just to remember,
And we have a lot of younger listeners in their 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, and stereotypically that's the time where you meet someone that you fall in love with, and that's typically the time when you fall pregnant. And not for everyone, but if you're fortunate enough that is the case. What advice would you give to those women with being young mums and just having babies? Would you say make sure you do celebrate it with your husband, even if your babies can't, they're too young to? Would you make sure of that?
Oh, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to do that? It's such an incredible power that a woman has. It's the epicenter of our power, isn't it, to be a mother? Not all women can, but bloody hell, if you are lucky enough to be pregnant and have a baby, and if you're lucky enough to have your partner or husband there with you, celebrate that. It's special. It needs to be kept special. That during that early period, it's pretty scary when you're pregnant.
I'm sure.
And you and your partner are generally going through all those little fears at the same time. It's so different. Motherhood, even before it happens, and what's going on in your mind compared to what goes on in your mind after you've had a baby. And as they go, that all changes too, because I think, as a young woman, when you're pregnant, I certainly was thinking more about, how is this affecting my body? How do I look?
Stretch
how do I
marks
feel?
The boobs getting
how's
bigger.
Fraser gonna? Is he still gonna fancy me?
It's
all
well, I
this
think
sort of
that is a
visual
fear.
thing. And
Especially
then
for young women.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's real.
And it sounds superficial and vain, but I mean, we talk about it. At this age, your body is your weapon.
It's scary.
And in so many ways. How you hold yourself with your partner, with the clothes you wear. But it's not just that. It's then feeling you're maybe not attached to that power anymore. So I think when we talk about it and say, "Oh my God, I'd be terrified," they even had this thing on Kim on the Kardashians, which we do laugh about, and Kourtney has a stretch mark and Kim loses it. She's like, Kourtney, oh my God, you've got a stretch mark. She's like, I'm dying for you, and we've spoken about it and be like, we'd be the same. We'd be like, oh my God, But I guess as a mother who's gone through it and you come out the other end, I'm sure you're like, oh gosh, that's such a minimal fear. But at the time, it feels
it's huge. That is such a major change, isn't it?
Yeah,
when you're
absolutely.
pregnant.
Yeah.
And then it's straight after that, I think your mind changes from all of that, personal body image changes, to, shit, this is going to hurt, isn't it? The actual birthing of this child you start to really get into that side of it and think, this is a bit scary.
Yeah.
And I think that's when your mums can help out.
Yes.
If you're lucky enough to still have your mum around or who can give you that advice, and your sisters or close friends who've gone through it. But everyone's experience is different anyway, having a baby.
Yeah.
But it's a real fear, and you will be wondering.
Yeah,
but you just have to reassure yourself that there are billions of mums out there who've had their
all
babies.
done it.
They've done it.
They've done it.
And you'll do it too. But
Did you feel those maternal instincts kick in as soon as you were pregnant, or was it as soon as you had your babbies?
Oh wow, that's a really good question.
Nice one, Paige.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Good one.
All right. Not just a hat rack. Yeah.
Because when I was a young woman, I didn't really have very strong maternal feelings. I didn't really have a lot of longing for children.
Yeah.
But because I'd left things a bit late, in the sense of I was concentrating on my career and traveling and life experiences and everything else. I had loads of relationships, but it really wasn't until I met Fraser at 28 and fell in love that I thought that I even started thinking about that.
Yeah.
And then we married 5 years after that, and then 4 years after that. So by then I would have been, mid-30s. And I was thinking, well, actually late 30s, let's be honest. Sugarcoating it now.
The listeners will do the maths.
Okay, no, that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, these ovaries are going to be shriveling up if I don't, So it wasn't so much maternal longing. It was, it was that
the body
feeling
clock
of,
kicking in.
Yeah. And that body clock kicking in was more of something that I thought about.
Yeah.
It's weird than thinking I want a child. It was,
How
what if I
interesting.
can't have a child?
Yeah, interesting.
Really strange.
Recently, Arch and I watched Handmaid's Tale. We love it, absolutely love it. And recently we saw it at the opera. They did an opera of Handmaid's Tale, and we watched the final night.
I haven't even asked you about that.
Oh, it was
my gosh,
fantastic. And obviously, the people that don't know Margaret Atwood's book, I would highly recommend reading it and also seeing the series. But it's all about going back to traditional ways of living, and that women purely are for bringing life into the world.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nothing else other than that, and that is their job. And although it's highly diminishing of a woman's worth, it really does make you look at yourself and think, gosh, that is what originally we were here to do, is reproduce.
Yes.
And how scary that when that power's taken away from you.
Yes.
Well, then you must feel you must question yourself. And that is hard. So I'm sure you did feel of the nature of, but what happens if I can't? And we are lucky enough in this day and age that there are so many options. So many options. And you can be a mum. It doesn't have to be, and whether it's not biologically yours, you're still a mother.
Absolutely.
But years ago that wasn't an option, and that is scary. Really scary. So my question is, obviously it took you 38. Was it 38 when you had Lily?
I was 37 with Lily, 38 with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did it take up to that point to feel, I want kids? Or was it when you met the person that you'd like to have kids with? Because you weren't originally... You'd be very honest. You'd be honest.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people out there that will want to know for themselves.
I still, even though I was madly in love and still am with your dad, I still didn't have a maternal longing at that stage, even though I knew I was in love with him.
Yeah.
But even when we decided that, okay, look, if we're going to have children, we should probably crack on a bit, because, we may not be able to.
Yeah.
It was along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny, really, because once we made that decision, let's try. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. And that was our mentality.
Okay, lovely.
It wasn't a desperation to have children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's give it a go.
Let's do it.
It's all a bit scary, but let's give it a go. And I remember it was Easter, and we met up with some friends of ours.
Yeah.
We went back to Adelaide. I'd been working in Sydney for years, but we went back to Adelaide. On this particular weekend was Easter. We flew back because I had work, and we made the most of the weekend. Met up with Craig. Now, he was a guy that I did a lot of travelling with in my, sort of 20s, early 20s. Here he was, married with 3 children.
Wow, how interesting.
Yeah. And it was a bloody awful weekend.
Craig out there, you're going to have a shock.
Oh my God, it was a shock to see him with these 3 little children running around. And it was like, are you going to look at me when we talk? I'm trying to have a conversation with you. He's distracted by these little beings running around. I had no understanding and appreciation of that. And it really pissed me off. Isn't that awful?
No.
And after that weekend, your dad and I said, should we leave it another year? So, so I thought, I'll go back on the pill. Well, the interesting thing...
fascinating.
I know. But the
how just a single bad experience can then shape...
Shallow. I know.
We were thinking it. We were both thinking it. No.
But, the amazing thing is that I actually conceived Lily that weekend.
Isn't
that
wild?
Mad? It's like, the universe.
The universe stepped in.
The universe stepped in.
And it was almost like, oh God, how are they doing that? And God's like, well, let's see you have a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other incredible thing is, finding out I was pregnant, so quite a few weeks later, was Mother's Day.
No, I got goosebumps then. No way.
It was Mother's Day 2000, the old dipstick and everything. And we're going, oh my God. Actually, I used a different word. And it was rather shocking. And we got so excited and terrified at the same time.
Yeah.
Where we were living in Adelaide, there was a small, really beautiful maternity hospital around the corner from us called the Calvary. Kitty's actually a Calvary cutie, just getting it out there. So is Lily, she's a Calvary cutie.
Yeah, got it on my CV actually. Yeah.
And we thought, let's go and, I don't know why we did that. Let's go and have a look in the maternity hospital. We talked earlier about, I don't think I'd made that connection yet to birthing and all of that. I shouldn't have done it.
The mindset.
The mindset wasn't there.
Oh my God.
And we went into the hospital and I was so proud of myself. I'm going, yes, I'm pregnant.
Yes.
I am with child.
Yes. I'm just one of you guys.
Yeah.
And this nursing sister turned to me and said, just think this time next year you're going to be a mother. You're going to have your child.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Oh my God. But that maternal longing wasn't there, but the nanosecond I had Lily, the nanosecond she was born, it was the biggest explosion of stratospheric love that I've ever felt in my life. Totally unexpected. It was like, that's why I'm here. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why women have babies. That's what it's all about. And
that's so lovely.
It sounds terribly twee, but that love has never diminished, faltered, and it's only ever grown. And when I was pregnant with Kitty...
Got more.
Honestly, I thought to myself, this sounds weird, but when I was pregnant with you, I thought, I'm a bit worried that what if I can't love her as much as Lily? What if I haven't got enough love left?
To give.
Yeah.
But bloody hell, it explodes all over again. And it makes you understand what infinite love is. So I'm sure that's the same for mums with loads of children.
Yeah.
That love is just there. So I think we're just
it's like
that way.
It's like a hormone and that toxin that you'll just get addicted to.
Oh
my God, give it to me again.
Yeah.
And I guess you need that to then go through the process.
Through
all of that process and that pain. But how interesting that it took you to actually birth the child.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it's different for
Yeah.
all mums, and
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single mum has a different, and it'd be so interesting to hear when your mum
Yes.
first had her first
Yeah,
maternal
yeah.
instinct, but it took you to actually birth this child to then be like, don't touch her.
Oh,
Or,
my
you know,
gosh,
I
yes.
need her
Mama
in my
bear.
life, and
Yeah.
mama bear big time.
Yeah. Mama
bear.
But also the thing
Yeah.
that you just said with about mothers saying, oh, well, you don't feel the love until you know, there's no love quite like
know.
it.
You do- you
we
hear it all the time.
We hear
All
it
the
from
time.
everyone.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
truly hear it from everyone. And it is one of those eye rolls, like when
Yeah, here we
parents
go.
say, you know, I walked 5 miles to get to school every day. You know? And you're like, yeah. But it's actually, I don't know how you feel, but it scares me a bit.
It does. It's interesting that when people say, like, you know, when you see celebrities that give birth, they go, our hearts are so full, we've never experienced something like this. And it's one of those things that, like you said, so many women do it. And it's so interesting to feel like there's a whole kind of thing we haven't experienced feelings wise.
Yeah.
That we probably won't feel unless we have that experience.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I find it scary, and I
Yeah.
also feel the love. I am such a relationship person, not as in I don't mean like boyfriend and girlfriend, which I am, but also the people around me, my family, my friends,
Yes.
my boyfriend.
Yeah.
They are the biggest soul and core and nucleus
Yes.
of my life, and I think I have so much love for my parents and my sister.
Yeah.
Have so much love for you.
Yeah.
Have so much love for. How could I have more love?
How
Could I really produce a different love
than the
that
one
is-
I've got.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm a Pisces. I feel very deeply. I'm a sensitive little soul. I'm like, how could I feel more?
Yeah.
I feel like I feel it all.
Can you imagine if we got pregnant at the same time?
Honestly, we've spoken about this before. We're like, well, it has to happen. I'm like, fuck, I've got to crack on.
Jeez. It's like, come on then, come on, KJ. Yeah.
That's so. Oh man.
Yeah, it is a really true feeling that you cannot experience until you're a mum, because you hear it from mums all the time.
Yeah.
And it's so true. And the other thing you just touched on a moment ago was that mama bear feeling, and I really experienced that directly after Lily was born, almost to the point where I didn't want anyone holding her. I didn't want. She was mine. She came out of my. She's mine, and it was really ridiculous. I remember even whether it was my mum or my sister holding baby Lily for a few minutes while I was lying there exhausted.
Yeah.
I still had one eye on them, watching what was going on and thinking, oh no,
Don't get attached.
Don't get attached. Give her back to me.
Yes.
Give her back to me, because she needs to know I'm her mum. It's ridiculous. She's hours old. She's not going to forget that.
Yeah.
She's not going to not know that. But I also remember feeling, this will sound weird, but jealous of other pregnant women.
Oh, interesting.
When I would see other women heavily pregnant,
Yeah.
I want that back. I wanted her back
interesting.
inside me. Sorry, Laws, that sounds disgusting. But, So I knew I wanted another baby straight away.
Oh.
And I wanted another daughter straight away. I hoped. I thought,
And I delivered.
want another-
I delivered.
Yeah, you came
I
through.
delivered. I did come through.
You came through.
She just wanted a daughter, but bloody hell, she got me.
She didn't get a daughter. No, she's got a legend. She's got a legend.
Birthed a legend.
Yeah.
You birthed the legend,
Oh
Mother
my
Dearest.
God.
Yeah, you did. But my question as well, I talked to Archie a lot about it actually, on this topic of completely new feelings. We always say how Arch and I are in such like a honeymoon phase. I know we're through like 3 years in, but
This is a long honeymoon.
I know, like 3 years honeymoon. But we do love each other dearly. But we always joke that with babies and all that, he's got a very close friend who's just had a baby.
Yeah.
And the recent one I've experienced is my cousin having a beautiful baby who is the cutest baby on earth. But I always say, when we look at babies and go, oh, how cute, and then say, oh, not ready. One of my fears is that at the moment, I'm Archie's biggest attention. I have all the attention in the room. The only person Archie prioritises in his life is me. I'm Big Chief. No, seriously, I'm Big Chief.
You're
over
Big
here.
Chief, yeah.
And I think if I give a baby, is that number one? Am I going to be number? No, but seriously, I'm like, clearly at the moment, I don't have that maternal instinct because I haven't felt those hormones and that protection and mother bear. But I'm like, hey, Archie, I'm the one in your life. And we do joke and think, oh God, how, minuscule of a ridiculous issue. But were there ever those feelings, or do those feelings go? Or did Dad ever feel hello, like you're paying more attention to the girls than me, or
It's listening to those fears. I'm sure everyone could relate to that. Think, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Of course you'd feel like that. But the reality of it is so different.
Really?
You know, it makes your love even stronger. You know, you have that amazing sense of pride. Look what we've created.
Yeah.
You know, this little bundle is a product of our love. And it just makes you love them more.
yeah.
Okay.
And yes, but when you put it the way you did, it makes sense as well. And I think that those types of fears are real. I can understand that. But the reality is
Did you have those feelings before you fell pregnant, thinking, I kind of just enjoy the life with Fraser and I, and I'm his priority?
I was just going to give the child away if I didn't like it.
Yep.
So, you know, I wasn't going to have that.
Mum actually said, she was like, something that reassured me was that boarding school.
Boarding
school.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
She said boarding school. She's like, boarding school. Okay, boarding school. That's my last
gosh, I
thing.
can't believe you remembered that.
And then when we came to her and said, you know, we were very fortunate to go to a lovely school that did do boarding, but we were day. And then when we came to her and said, we'd like to board, she was heartbroken.
I know.
And it was almost like, well, serves you right, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Serves you right.
circle.
The universe works in mysterious ways again.
It's so true.
Oh, that's
my
so
gosh.
funny. So, Mother's Day, do you feel like it highlights your role as a mother in the sense you become hyper aware of your relationship with your children? You like sit back and have that reflection time of how that year's been for you, how everything you've gone through as a family, as a mother.
Yeah.
Do you ever take that time to reflect on the day?
That's a really good question, and the answer is absolutely yes. It does. And I would be surprised to hear any mum say that they don't at times feel guilt or feel like they've fallen short. And sometimes Mother's Day makes you think, oh, maybe I could have done this better, or maybe I could have done that better. That's it. I know. But going back to the love of having beautiful sentimental cards helps you reflect as well, actually, because it's a little bit like a performance review.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, I love this. I love it.
She's got
A
them.
little surprise for you.
Oh my god!
Oh
we've
my
been
God, this is
surprised.
amazing.
Okay,
You know,
I'm nervous.
I know.
This
it's
is so-
hysterical,
Do you know what I was
actually.
actually going to play on the podcast, and I was just so humiliated I couldn't. I was actually going to. Do you know what I'm about to say?
No, go on,
I'm so humiliated. I thought, actually, do you know what? We do embarrass ourselves on the podcast. Clearly, me earlier saying I had a nasty day.
Yeah.
But I thought I can't even do
Used
this.
to know.
I must have been about 7 or 8, and I was in the car. I've always been a mummy's girl. Always.
yeah.
I was in the car, and I got to sit in the front. You know, youngest privileges, and Lily's just a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was sat in the front, and mum had a BlackBerry, and I record, and I think I'm a musician, like genuinely Elton John in the making.
Oh, goodness.
No, I am.
No, you are.
I was.
Yeah.
And I record, and I sing, oh my God, this song. Katie, I might even have to ask Justine to attach it. It is so, I'm like, Mummy, I love you, everything. It is the most, and honestly, Mum played it to me about 2 years ago, and I was like, what a wet wine.
Oh, it's
I love it.
What a wet
I bet you loved it though. I bet you were like on repeat in the car. The school runs.
Every Mother's Day, she's like, play it.
There it goes.
She's like, play it again, Mummy. She's like,
It's your alarm in the morning.
Yeah, she's like, put it on. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's
Yes.
read these cards. Tell us.
But, so, you know, I said I keep all my cards. So I was having a look, you know, in preparation for coming on today. I thought, I might dig a couple out and have a look.
Yeah.
Well, my goodness. So beautiful, so beautiful. This card here, I don't know whether you can pick up on that. I mean, it's absolutely... This is from you, Kitty, when you were young. Very typically, it says, typical for you, it has a picture of a tiara. For a wonderful mum, hope your day is fit for a queen.
Oh, lovely.
But I am not going to read all of that out. But, you know, it's sentimental essay.
This is brilliant.
Do you know what year this was, sorry? Does it say?
I haven't got a year on there, but you would, from the content, and I'm certainly not going to read it all out, I would say, you know, you were quite young. But you say,
Thank you.
to Mummy, I hope you have a terrific day. I am really looking forward to it. That's because I book fabulous places.
Yeah. I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I cannot describe Oh no, I'm jumping ahead. Here we go. Although I have been boarding, I haven't failed to notice your kindness.
Oh,
It's very nice. In bringing clothes in for me. As opposed to letting you go to school naked. I liked that.
Fantastic.
Yes. Performance review continues. I cannot describe how grateful I am for everything you do for me. And honestly, I cannot fault you.
Oh, fantastic.
You like me?
That's good.
Yeah,
No, that's good.
Getting a raise for that one.
Yeah.
Getting a raise.
Can you imagine if I did, though? Like in the Mother's Day card,
I
like,
know, right?
look, you are good at bringing in me in clothes, but the meals aren't fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Can't follow you.
You should be very proud of yourself, as I am.
Mother Teresa.
And take this day to reflect that you couldn't possibly have done a better job.
On me.
See, they've got their eyes on you.
That's so funny.
They have their eyes on you.
is
Now,
so
this
funny.
one's from Lily, who's also very young. She says, "Dear Mum, happy Mother's Day.
And again, happy Mother's Day. Yeah.
Throughout all the years," I think she was 7. "Throughout all the years,
this.
smiles and tears, you have always been by my side.
Oh.
Apart from when I'm hiding in the bushes."
Wait, what the fuck does that mean?
Okay.
Apart from when I'm hiding in the bushes.
In the bushes. In the bushes.
I love it.
I love
Oh,
it.
fantastic.
And here's another one from Lils. "Dear Mum, right from the start, you were the one."
Oh,
That's nice.
oh, it's like a song, isn't it?
yeah. You were the one who nurtured me, prayed over me, worried about me, guided me and supported me in every pursuit. She was 8, so she'd come out of the bushes.
Oh my God.
And now she's assessing me.
Just the bushes. Do you know what is the list? It's the guy. She clearly learned that at school. Guided me.
Tick. Yep.
Prayed on me. Yeah. she's got commas in there. She's like, nurtured me. Nurtured me. I mean, what 8-year-old? Yeah. What 8-year-old says nurtured?
I love that.
Bloody hell.
It was very intense.
Before her time.
Right, last one from you, Kitty.
Fantastic.
"Dear Mummy, all the things I love about myself have come from you." So you. So you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very good self-image. Very proud
Do you know
of
when
you.
we talked to our younger selves that episode and I said I was a confident child? That is
there it is.
evidence.
Oh my God,
There it
that's
is.
so funny.
Seriously, everything I love about myself comes from me, Mum.
Comes from
Oh,
you.
that is so
You should
funny.
be proud of yourself.
You should be very proud of yourself. Yeah, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
You inspire me each and every day. So imagine how much pride I feel when I get to call you my mum.
Oh, bless.
That's so beautiful. I know you try very hard. I know you try very hard to teach and guide Lil and I in the right direction. And you've succeeded in your work. There it is.
You are.
Oh, that is so funny.
Again, I'm being promoted. And you end it. "I love you very much, Kitty," with lots of kisses. "P.S. I'm sorry I couldn't get you flowers. I'll try a baby alpaca next time."
Wait, what the fuck? A baby alpaca?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I'll try a baby
alpaca next time.
That is so funny.
Maybe an inside joke, maybe. Oh, Mum, that was a fantastic section.
I knew you enjoyed
Oh, I
that.
love it.
Oh, that is so funny.
For sure, it's the everything I love about myself
Myself.
comes from you. Yeah, it's like whose card is it?
well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
Smashed
You know
it.
what? You've transitioned to our next section beautifully. How well do you think you know Lily and I?
Oh, really well.
You think you know
Oh,
really
gosh,
well? Okay.
yeah.
Would in a room of a lot of people, if we spoke, if you could hear different voices, would you be able to pick out what mine is?
Yes.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, let's put it to the test then.
Oh my goodness.
So, Katie and I, we've written a list of some funny things that we love about you. I have opened up with Katie about maybe something she didn't know, and have told her that we're going to play a little game in which we read out reasons why we love you.
Yes.
And you have to guess who said them. But there is a slight little... what would you say?
Caveat.
There's a caveat.
Fantastic.
Oh gosh.
That it's in a different voice. It's in an auto-tuned voice. So there are 5 of them. 5 reasons why we love you that all have come from me that I have clearly. So, because I'm perfect.
Yeah.
But we would like to see if you could tell who's Katie and who am I. If you know, if you clearly as a mother know you child that well, let's put it to the test.
Oh, that's pressure.
Let's put it to the test.
Pressure.
Okay, so for the first one. Okay, let me put it next to the microphone.
The reason why I love you is because you always burp like Scooby-Doo, like, woo.
For goodness sake!
Like Scooby-Doo, like, woo.
I think that's Katie.
It is!
It is me.
Point to you.
It is
done. Okay, point to you. Let's see the second one. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
The reason why I love you is that your eyes always blow up as big as golf balls anytime you go on a
Kitty!
The reason why I love you is that your eyes always blow up as big as golf balls anytime you go on a plane and you look like Igor.
I'm afraid that was Katie.
It was not!
It was
some secret!
Yeah, I told us a secret. So 1 to you, 1 to us.
Oh.
Okay, let me play you another one. Okay, this is a good one.
The reason why I love you is because you say, you never told me that when I told you 100 times.
Oh God, that sounds
The reason why I love you
That's
is
you.
because you say...
That is me.
That's
That is
you.
me. Well
Yeah.
done. 2 points to you, 1 to us. Okay, let's see if you get the other one. That's a good one. It's a really good one. Okay.
I love you because your sister shaved you off your eyebrows when you were young, so you have to draw them on.
Katie, you shouldn't know that!
Yes, well done. 3 to you, 1 to us. Okay, and I believe this is the last one.
The reason why I love you is because you wore 10 bras to a supermarket when you were a child.
Honest to God! Katie McNeill! It's true as well, and I'm dying. That's you.
That was me. Well
Yeah.
done. So 4 out of 5, I would say you
Ain't
did a good
bad,
job.
yeah.
Ain't bad at all.
Yeah.
I'd say you did very well.
Smashed
for
it.
knowing your children. Yeah,
Smashed it.
Yeah. Katie's the 3rd child, so all
I'm like,
yes, exactly. Well done. That was really good.
So, would you say that Mother's Day is about yourself as a mother, or do you usually take Mother's Day to think about your own mother?
Good question. It's got to be both, hasn't it? For sure. And although my mum's passed away now, she's been gone about 6-7 years, I still think of her, especially for Mother's Day.
That's lovely.
I still reflect back. As I said earlier, I didn't always get it right with my Mother's Day cards, sending them at the wrong time. But I think one thing that... How can I put this? As you get older, as you get older in being a mother, you start looking back at your relationship with your mum and think about what they must have gone through at the age you are at this particular time.
How interesting.
Yeah.
And you think about your mum with so much more appreciation and understanding, and you really feel... empathetic and humbled by it.
Yeah.
And a little guilty at times. Think, God, I didn't realise how tough that must have been, because I'm bloody finding it tough.
Yeah.
And I'll think back, she told me this and I didn't really take much notice of it. And she was bloody right, because I'm experiencing this now, and Mother's Day, I think back, bloody hell, Mum, you didn't have it very easy. You had it very hard at times. You almost... at times single-handedly brought us up, I think.
Yeah.
My dad was there, but we came from a very, it was quite a working class mentality, I think, and generational. My dad would say things to my mum like, no wife of mine is going to work.
Right.
You know, and I know she desperately wanted her voice trained. She wanted to sing. She did a bit of club singing and stuff, but there was so much more she wanted to do, but she never did. And I think there's one thing's for sure: every single mum sacrifices something.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, they sacrifice a bit of themselves.
Yeah.
And so Mother's Day, I think back to my mum and how much she sacrificed for us.
Oh.
So
That's
yeah.
lovely. Did you ever feel like your relationship, because I feel like relationships with mothers are always kind of ebbing and flowing the older you get, I mean, through different
So
stages.
true.
Yeah.
But did you feel a shift once you'd had Lily, like when you had your first baby and then you were like, oh my God, was there just like a newfound kind of layer of your relationship with your mum?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. You know, it's at a deeper level.
Yeah.
Because you know she's gone through what you've gone through, and as I said before, you just really respect and understand that at a deeper level now, and it's all so much more relevant. Some of those silly things that she'd say to you think, oh my gosh,
That makes sense.
that makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know, and I just wish she'd been around a bit longer.
Yeah.
You know, to share so much of, because she would have had a hoot. You probably would have had her on.
Oh,
the
she
couch.
would have loved this.
You know.
She would have loved it. She wouldn't have known how to listen to it, but she would have
No,
loved
you're
it.
absolutely
No.
right there. You're absolutely right.
But I think there's a reason as well why in the past in delivery rooms when you do give birth, why your partner wasn't allowed in there, it was your mum. And I think it's not only just the, you know, your bits are your bits and your husband shouldn't see that, but it was also, you've been through it. You know what's about to happen. You can be there for me.
Yeah.
And I think that, as you said, you know, mothers relationships are with whether they have a son or a daughter or whoever they have, it's a difficult one. But to be able to look back and respect your mother that much when you're a mother yourself must be huge.
Yeah.
Must be absolutely huge. And it was so different because your mum had babies. She had 3 when she was very young.
Very young.
Really young. Whereas you were different. You know, you were worried about your fertility.
Yeah,
whereas she was,
absolutely.
oh, well, it'll be fine.
Yeah. And it was so different. I mean, when I think how young mum was when she had my sister, and she was very tiny. She was even smaller than me, and quite a slight woman.
Yeah,
you know,
very
she was
skinny.
very, very slight. And her being told, oh, you know, you're having a breech. It's a breech birth. You know, you're going to need to have a cesarean. And she refused.
Wow.
I want to bring this baby into the world myself.
Oh, wow.
And she laboured for 3 days to deliver my sister.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And
But that
crazy.
as well
Yeah.
is generational.
It's generational.
It's the same with breastfeeding. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't been there, but I've heard so much from women, generational, how bad they felt. Am I not a good mother that I can't breastfeed?
Oh my
Am I not a good mother that I
Yeah.
can't bring my child through my vagina? How I'm
Yeah.
supposed,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whereas now, and social media can be a bad thing, but also a fantastic tool.
Yeah.
And I think one of the best tools it can is awareness, whether that's to do
Yes.
with mental health,
Yeah.
whether that's to do with motherhood, and to be able to be like, you are a mother, whether it came out of your stomach or what, you are a mother,
Absolutely.
whether it's biologically yours or not.
Yeah.
You are
I
a
agree.
mother, you know.
Yes.
And I think that is a great weapon that we've been able to translate into our life, into the modern world. But generationally, back then, it would have been so hard. Even your mother being told she can't work, you know, that's all generational.
Yes, it is.
But that's really something so significant to look back on, where, you know, and that's also the tensions you can then have with your own mother, for your mother to say to you, I mean, even with body hair, with generational, you know, in our generation, it's known to take it all off, and your generation, the generation before, that's unheard of. Why would you do that? You know, generational, it's so different. So then if I'm having a baby and saying to you, well, this is what I'm doing, you're thinking, oh, no, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm
Yes,
sure you
yeah.
had it with your own mother saying, oh, Eileen, what are you doing? And you're thinking, no, Mum, like,
This is how it is.
it's how it is now.
Yeah.
Did that create tension, or was that more support? That there was a different understanding of the world and motherhood?
Gosh, I think the latter.
Really?
You know, I really wanted to. I don't think I ever turned to my mum and thought and said to her, "Well, that's rubbish. We don't do that anymore."
Okay.
I might have thought it, but I would never have been so disrespectful to have said it to her.
Yeah.
Because she used to come up with some some interesting things, but you know, like when you had sore breasts, you put cabbage leaves on them and stuff like that. You know, apparently. Yeah. A bit of watercress in my point.
Soon as Katie and I are on our periods, we'll be running out to Tesco's for the cabbages.
And I'm sure that's all because cabbage leaves are cold. Maybe it's just I don't know, but I'm sure she would have argued the point. It was, you know, something
vitamins
imbued from the but things have changed so much. And my poor old mum having to go through 3 days of labour. She was lucky she didn't die.
Pass
she was
away.
Lucky that my sister is as normal as she is, but even that's debatable. But anyway.
But then again,
I don't mean
for
that,
her,
George, I'm only joking.
But then again, for her to have that traumatic experience, but then still do it 2 more times.
I know.
You know, that's a credit. I mean, your mum's had 3 children.
Yeah.
You know, she's been through it 3 times, and actually, you say a lot that your mother goes, "I birthed you, so I can say whatever I like."
It's honestly her pelvic floor. Anytime she has any issue, she's like, "Well, it's your fault." Yeah. I'm like, well, you're not wrong.
Well, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, and for women going into pregnancies, with one of Archie's friends who's just had a baby as well, it's changing all the time.
Yeah.
And it makes me think that when we have our own children, or are lucky enough to have children, what will that be like?
Yes.
You know, what will be the pressures there, and what will be so easy, and what will be challenging?
Yeah.
But I think it's just, Mother's Day is a time to respect that women have done that.
Yes.
You know, and women have been through that body change, that mental change.
Yeah.
You know, everything's doubted through that time. Yourself, your partner, you know, there's so much doubt in that time.
Yeah.
But to be able to then reflect to someone else who's been through it and being like, well done, champ.
Yeah, quite.
Like, we did this, you know. I'm sure that just grows your respect for your own mum.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you and your sister are mums. I mean, that's just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, that'll be so
Can't
strange.
wait to be
and
a
you will be
grandma.
the best grandma. Have you decided what you want to be?
Yeah, do you want to be like Nana,
Gosh,
Nanny?
I don't know. I think I like Nana.
Yeah.
Or Nanny. Or no, it sounds like a goat. Nana. I don't know. Like my mum, my sister's children, my nieces, Diana, that's her name, they're struggling with me. Diana and Louise used to call my mum Wee Nan.
Yes, yes, they did.
And I remember this little dressing gown she had that had Wee Nan written on it.
Oh.
You know, Mum was tiny.
Yeah.
Don't think I want to be Wee Nan. Magnificent Nan, maybe.
Yes.
But, yeah. I think to remember my mum, Nan might be the way to go.
That'd be lovely.
But also to build on our relationship then, like, you know, to then, how will our relationship change? You know, you are such a huge part of my life, and I feel so lucky to be close to you and Dad, like, and I love you both so much, but, you know, full stop. When you then are a mum, how do you reflect on your own parents and be like, how did you do this? I need help. How did you do it?
And likewise, from our point of view, not wanting to your dad and I overstep the line either. You know, it's your child.
But I'm in a luckier position than you and Dids were, Dad. You know, you both support me financially and emotionally. You both didn't have that. You know, that was all off your own back. And it's just, how does that change your pregnancy? You know, how does that change your experience?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting when we get to that point.
Just not yet.
Not yet. No. I much prefer Lily to have a little baby now, so I can. I definitely. Oh my god! Anytime Katie and I see a baby, we're like, look at that little baby. I would love for someone in our friendship group, doesn't matter who,
just to have a baby.
In our friendship group to have a baby, because then we could babysit. It could be on the debrief.
We could just sit it there.
We'd just be. I'd love that.
So
yeah. But anytime it does a shit, it can. You know, take itself to the bathroom. Yeah, thank you.
I was looking at a couple of baby photos of you and your sister the other day.
Yeah.
And because you were born in the same hospital, they had the same photographer, you know, after a few days. It's hard sometimes to work out, is that Kitty? Do you know which photos I mean? With the sort of really pretty little frame around her. But the one thing that helps me identify them is just remembering back to when they were born, and then I look at the photo and go, oh yes, of course that is Kitty. Because when Kitty was born, she had her first what do you call that?
Pout.
So she was born pouting, and her little eyes were wide open. She's going,
I knew.
You knew.
pouting already, and your little picture shows that. And when Lily was born, she was frowning.
Yep.
So
I'd actually
funny.
love to know about you and Lucy, your sister.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because do you know what you came out as, a happy baby, or?
I thought I was quite a happy baby. But I remember my younger sister was not a happy bunny.
No, really.
Not a happy bunny. She used to wail.
So your older sister?
My younger sister.
Oh, the youngest, yeah.
I could see a world in which Lucy came out just silent, just loving her. Like, don't mind me.
Yeah, don't mind me.
You do
Everyone
you.
crack on, I'm just here.
But she was golden child. Apparently she used to literally like wait in her cot. She'd be awake and then she'd literally be like, please can someone come get me now? I'm ready to get up now. I'm ready. Whereas I'd be like, like, get me out.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Wake up. Okay, so we're going to go on to our next bit. So I think the greatest but also the most challenging job in the world is being a mother. Because it's not only the whole mental, physical, it's being responsible for this person for 18 years plus.
Yes. Yeah.
And within these 18 years, you have a lot to cover. It's not just one in it. It's like that, what's that film that goes backwards? The baby, and then it's an old man, and then goes the
Benjamin Button?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You know, you can't start off wise and say, hey, tell me how we can communicate so I can do well for you. You know, it comes out non-verbal. You know, so how are you supposed to make, what's wrong with you? How can I help you? So I would say the three, personally from a non-mother, so, you know, other mothers might have their own opinion, but for the three most significant or three parts of a child's life I've chosen. So the first one I've chosen is a baby. When they're really small, little baby, maybe still breastfeeding, they're really, really small. The second one is a toddler. So their personality's coming through, they're whingy and whining, running about. And the third one is teenage years.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm going to ask you, would Snog, marry and avoid?
Oh, gosh.
Marry, to choose one of these, I would do all over again. I would do it, oh my gosh, give it to me. Let's do it. I could do that time for the whole of my life. The second one, now and again, that's Snog. Now and again, I'll snog it. You know, I'll have a few moments with that stage of my child's life, but not all the time, just a few times. And avoid, I never want to do that again. Let's leave that. That's in the past. That's what would you choose?
That is
for
fantastic question.
baby, toddler,
Oh, my
teenage?
goodness. So the snog one is you would do exactly the same? Is that? No, that's marry.
Marry is I would do it all over again. I could marry it. I would do it to its fullest. Give it to me. Let's do it all.
Baby.
Really?
Oh, I love the baby stage. Oh my goodness, I loved it. Lot to learn. I got a lot of things wrong, but oh my goodness. Just, I love that baby stage.
Oh, that's so cute.
Your father would answer it a bit differently.
Yeah, he would.
And probably your Auntie Fiona may have answered that differently as well. So, you know, women
it's individual.
It's, you know, mums are all different.
You should ask your mum. It'd be interesting to see what she says.
Yeah. Snog a toddler. I think that's
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You avoid the teenage years. I think
Really?
I might do that.
Why avoid the teenage years?
Oh my goodness. I loved your teenage years and your sister's teenage years. Every single stage has its own challenges, but I think the teenage years were the years I wish to God I had a pause button. And I could have just gone, right, pause, and that, okay, how am I supposed to deal with that one?
Yeah.
How do I advise? How do I... Where the other two, you just you know, would
We
wing
make
it.
it.
You'd wing it.
You make it up, don't you?
Absolutely. And there was no one, especially at the baby stage, nobody to tell you what
And
to
with
say.
the baby and toddler years, you had your mum there.
Yes.
Whereas with the teenage years, you know, she was in
flying
Australia
solo.
and then she passed away.
Yeah.
So that was navigated on your own.
Yeah.
But I know for my dad's opinion, oh my God, he says the baby stage. The quacking. He says, no, I love the stage right now. He's like, best stage.
He would.
He does.
He absolutely would.
He much prefers being able to communicate and have fun. And Dad loves
have
the
fun.
inappropriate jokes. So definitely.
Oh, but don't get me wrong. I love all of those stages.
Yeah.
And there are so many more stages to go through. The thing with being a mum is that don't be afraid as well to admit when you get things wrong or to say sorry about things, because we are learning all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously perhaps you learn more with the eldest. Because and Lily still is doing things for the first time, and I'm still learning as I go.
And I learn from her,
definitely. And then I think, you know, the subsequent children maybe do get it a little bit easier because you're more confident.
Yes.
You know, you've cut your teeth a little bit on something.
Yeah.
You and your sister had very different, in many ways, teen years, different sort of challenges, but certainly there are still challenges there. But yeah, being a mum is a big learning curve. It's huge. So
I actually saw this thing online, like a quote. So when we do our mantras every week, I usually have a look. Either I feel it in my gut and I know, or I've got an idea of what I want to say, but I just need some inspiration. So I always have a look on Pinterest for quotes and stuff. And there was this beautiful quote that says something along the lines of I forgave my mum when I became a mum.
Oh, I love that.
And it was
I
like
can relate
every
to that.
mistake that I held on to, every bit of anger that I had was gone, because I was now like, I am learning and I'm human and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I held on to that. And I thought, gosh, that's such a raw emotion. You know, something that I haven't experienced personally because I'm not a mum, but what a quote.
It's really
just
powerful.
Like, excellence doesn't require perfection.
Yes.
You know, and if you just aspire to be the perfect mum or the perfect anything, you know, it's not good. Just do your best.
Yes.
And when you fall down or make mistakes, that's okay. But we all learn through our mistakes, and it's okay to admit them. And there's been times, Kit, hasn't there, where I've said, I don't think I handled that right. I'm really sorry. I'd rather, you know, I said this or did whatever. You know, just, we're all human, we're fallible.
But you're a great mum for that. Like, I hope you know that how much Lil and I appreciate that. And that is not universal. Like, you are an incredible mum to be able to know, but to be able to recognise that, you know what, I hold my hands up, shit, I'm human. Like, I'm sorry I got that wrong. And I think that's a huge tool to be able to use as a mum, but also in life.
Yes.
You know, the biggest weapon we can use is to say sorry.
Yes.
You know? Just admit you're sorry. Like, what's the issue?
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Debrief dilemmas.
Debrief dilemma.
It's time for the
Dilemmas.
dilemma.
We've got a cracking one for you, actually.
It's time for the dilemma.
I have read this first, and I was a bit like, I don't know how to navigate this.
Okay.
So, from a mother's point of view, this will be interesting.
Okay, so, hey girls, love the podcast. Truly sets me up for a great week. Love your humour and stories, but right now I need to debrief with you because I'm stressing and I would love the advice from your mum, Kitty. I've recently had a baby boy with my husband. Without getting into too much detail, we found it hard to get pregnant, so he's truly our miracle. I love him so much and I'm overwhelmed by how much my body could make such a beautiful thing that now I get to see grow into an amazing person like his dad. He was born on January the 2nd, so this will be our first Mother's Day with him, and for me being a mum and my husband being a dad. I ideally want to spend the day just the three of us and treasure this moment, as we'll have lots of time to celebrate the other Mother's Day with the extended family. But right now I'm living in a bubble of babyland.
I can relate to that.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
However, every year for Mother's Day, we always go to celebrate it with my mum and dad, whether it be a dinner out, a spa trip, or even a dinner party. I love spending it with my mum as we're so close, and she loves my husband. By the way, my husband's family live in Australia, so that's why we can't celebrate it with them. But ever since I got pregnant and have now given birth, my mum is so excited to host a Mother's Day event for her and I, now that I'm a mother too. She's had an idea to invite lots of the extended family and mentioned that it will be a big family reunion. The only reason I know this is because it's a surprise, but I accidentally saw it on an email on my husband's phone. I must be hormonal or something, but I just burst into tears. I don't feel ready to share our baby bubble yet. I don't know if I'm overthinking or being selfish, but I really don't know what to do. She hasn't organised anything yet. She's just put the idea out. What should I do? I don't want to upset her because I love her so much and she means the world to me. But and it's so kind that she's putting together an event, but I do not feel like I'm ready yet. Please help. I need some guidance. Am I going mad?
Oh my goodness.
I know, that's a real tricky one.
That is really tricky.
And I can absolutely understand those sort of emotions. And I don't think she needs to feel bad about that at all. I think any young mum, and especially your first Mother's Day as well, you know, those raw emotions, you're still getting to know what motherhood is. It's a tricky one. I think she holds an ace card in that her mum doesn't know she knows.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So she could preempt it, not by saying, you know, I've read the email or I know what's going on, but to actually share and confide in her mother in whatever way she would normally do it. And so I'm so excited for her partner and I to have that special time together, the three of us, for Mother's Day.
Good advice.
And that, you know, next year or what have you, why don't we all get together in next year or something? I don't know. But to sort of preempt it, maybe, and would work better for her.
Yes. Do you think she should admit to her partner that she's aware of that it's an idea that's gone out? Because I think by that email she hasn't said to her partner.
That's what I thought. It hadn't gone out yet.
Yeah.
Do you think she needs to say to her partner, if my mum brings it up with you, can you shut it down? Or?
Yes. Yes, maybe she should.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's tricky.
It's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
But even if she went with it, pushed all of those emotions back and just, what the hell, I'm going to go with it. She's not going to be her true self on the day anyway. She's going to be feeling really emotional.
Yeah.
Little baby will probably pick up on that as well. She doesn't want to have a memory of feeling like that on your first Mother's Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially it's been highlighted the fact that they've had a difficult pregnancy.
So
I think this really is their true miracle, and congratulations,
Yes.
you know, and we truly mean that. So, you know, you should have that time if that's if this is going to, and if it is your only child, then this is the, you know,
should be celebrated.
It should.
The three of them.
Yeah. I think that is great advice. Just to reiterate, maybe try and navigate that by talking to your partner.
Yeah.
Was it a husband? Did you say husband?
Yeah, husband.
Talking to your husband and just say, I'm feeling like this, so that he's in the loop, because he might not know at all that this is how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And he could be going to the big extreme as well. So make that known. But as Mum said, don't feel guilty for having those feelings, because clearly
I would have been exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't have been ready to
scary,
do that.
yeah.
No. You know, we talked at the beginning of the debrief about celebrating Mother's Day when your children are little babies. You know, do you and your husband celebrate and stuff?
Yeah.
To be honest, you're so friggin' knackered.
Yeah.
It is really hard work and tiring. Just having that closeness, just the pair of you. You don't have to organise babysitters. You don't have to glam up and get... You don't feel like it. You're so tired.
Yeah.
Allow time for all those exciting things to come back to you want to do that. Don't force it.
Yeah.
If you feel, you know, I just think go with your gut instinct. She clearly doesn't want to have this big thing. So don't force those feelings down and do it. Don't do it.
And the reassuring thing is that nothing has been put in place yet.
It's not been set in
stone. And you clearly sound like you've got a good relationship with your mum. So, you know, you're not a bad person. Just be open and upfront. I think that'll be all right.
Talk with her about how you feel, how you're feeling right now, and oh goodness, you know, Mother's Day is coming up, and this is what we'd like to do, and
well done.
Just so she knows.
Yeah.
So maybe she can.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
Gosh.
And have a great Mother's Day.
Yes, have a great Mother's Day.
What we always do is our X.
I love your X.
But before we get into the X, we're going to have to ask you to do the X with us. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. X! Classic. That's it. We always worried. We actually got our last guest, Liv, to do it as well. And she hadn't known we do the thing. I was like, so you have to say X in an icky way. And she was like, X. I was like, you did fantastic.
Smashed it.
I was like, fantastic.
Smashed it.
Okay, so the X for this episode on the theme of motherhood and Mother's Day. What stereotypes or opinions about motherhood make you feel either uncomfortable, or that they are not realistic, outdated, or in fact it doesn't match with what you believe or what you feel motherhood truly is? And this is all personal, you know, and when we ask these X, this is why they are X. They are personal. It doesn't have to be a universal thing at all. It's just, oh no, this does grate me when people say this.
Yeah. Gosh. I've actually got so many, so I'm
Go
going to
for
have
it.
to know.
Oh my God,
think
I love it.
which ones to.
These are the icks that we actually can't because we're
Yes,
not mothers.
yeah.
So give them to us.
I guess when I hear mums say, "I'm just a mum," or I don't work.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
sort of grates me, because we've all have to make sacrifices once you're a mum. And there are 3 types of mums. A mum who stays at home, a mum who has to work, a mum who chooses to work.
Yeah.
And I just wish that we, as mothers, we should be celebrating our choices.
Yes.
And respect our choices. But it grates me when I hear someone say, "I'm just a mum." Bloody hell, it's a big job. It's an honourable job. And, you don't get any holiday. We don't get any pay. You don't get any holiday. You don't get any sick leave. It's a hard job. There's nothing only about it.
Yes.
So I could say an awful lot more about that statement, but that is a real ick for me.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And the other one, and you touched on it earlier, is the assumption that every woman can breastfeed. That really icks me, because out there in society, there is such a big pressure on breastfeeding.
Yes.
Breast is best.
Yes.
You give your child the best start you can with breastfeeding. And you know what?
Pressure.
It's all true. It is true. But we can't all breastfeed,
Yeah.
And personally speaking, my milk dried up after, did I get to week 3? And oh my goodness, we talked about my relationship with my mum changing. She held me in her arms and I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. I thought I was the worst mother. I cannot feed my baby. Yeah. And she was just brilliant. But I felt, you feel it's hard enough without having to feel all of that guilt and stress.
Yeah.
So
putting that pressure on we touched on pressure of how much pressure you put on someone at a young stage in their life when we talked about sibling rivalry and being competitive with a sibling. But putting a pressure on such a young motherhood start, like you just starting on mother and already now doubting your ability, why do that?
Yeah.
Why, when you've got so much else to go and to look forward to and to work through, why are you doubting already? And why are you making other mums feel shit?
Yeah.
Surely you should all be like, God, we've
Helping
done
each
it.
other.
Like, we've actually done this thing.
Yeah, so true. You don't need to be feeling like you're a failure.
Less than. No.
Oh my God.
Stage. And I guess the other thing going on from breastfeeding, breastfeeding is breastfeeding in public.
Ooh, good
sometimes-
topic.
Yeah, that's sort of, that it's still, you're made to feel really uncomfortable and embarrassed and ashamed, and you have to cover up. And I didn't experience it so much, I must admit, in Australia.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just got them out, no problem. And you just feel so proud as well. You think, look at me, it didn't last for long, a couple of weeks, but I got them out for a couple of weeks, but I do see women at times struggling and feeling embarrassed and things have changed. There's the Equality Act of 2010, I think it was, that was put into place in the UK so that women could not be discriminated against if they want to breastfeed their child in a public place.
Fantastic.
It didn't matter where it was.
Fantastic.
And if someone tells you off or gives you a bad look or says something, they can be held accountable for that.
Good.
And I hope in time, we'll forget that there's that Equality Act even in place. Women should be made to feel a little bit more comfortable, and it should be accepted a lot more than it is.
I think what is interesting though on that point is that from a young woman's point of view, before I'd experienced it myself, not personally, but my cousin breastfeeding, beforehand I when we grow up as women, breasts and boobs are a big part of our life, and we grow into them and everything. So I thought it was hypersexualized, and I thought, no, genuinely. And I hold my hands up there, and I'd be like, oh gosh, that's very sexualized in front of everyone. Until very recently, about a year ago now, I was in Australia with my own cousin who was breastfeeding, and I couldn't admire her more, the beauty she'd created. I was like, oh my God. And the connection this baby had, the eye contact, this Audrey, beautiful child, she couldn't stop looking at her mum. And she just was happy and safe and warm, and I was like, what a beautiful thing that you're providing your child this. But and I was like, do it anywhere. This is what your child needs, you know.
If you can do it, do it. And my sister Louise's mum was very fortunate in being able to breastfeed Louise until she was, I think she would have been 2, maybe a bit older.
Wow.
And
God, that's a long time.
I mean, I think most
amazing.
mums who can breastfeed, you know, maybe breastfeed 6 or 8 weeks, something like that. Longer, I think the percentage drops beyond that. Some even go longer than 2 years. But I know that my sister would always say how much she loved it. That connection that you spoke about with Louise and Audrey, you know, that connection that she had with Louise was it was beautiful. Yet she struggled to breastfeed with Diana.
How interesting.
She didn't have the proper support at the time.
How interesting.
But every pregnancy is different.
Very true.
You know? But it's one of the other icks I have is when I hear young women say, I don't want kids. Sleep deprivation, dirty nappies.
Interesting.
Really
Interesting. Why?
Because I think, my goodness, the sleep both things are real. But they don't last too long.
Okay.
The sleep deprivation might be, I don't know, 6 weeks, 12 weeks if you're unlucky or something like that. Maybe even less than that with some. Nappies, a year. Maybe a tiny bit longer. And yet to say you don't want children because of that, it's like,
that must be annoying.
But that, going back to one of our earliest questions, that's someone who now has those maternal hormones flowing in her genes, in her blood. When I was young, I possibly did say the same thing as well. But to give young women that reassurance that don't make that the reason not to have kids.
That's true. That's very true.
I love that.
And probably my last one.
Go on, do
I'm
it.
not going to go through all of them, but the last one I'll say is when I hear things like time spent with your child. It should be quality, not quantity. And it gets me when they're really little, because I think they just want to be with you. They just want to spend time with you. That's what's important. You don't have to be doing anything.
That's so true.
Cuddle, having a kiss, holding your hand, being with them. They just want your time. Everything else is icing on the cake.
Oh, how lovely.
You know, but so that sort of goes back as well to the excellence is, you know, it doesn't require perfection.
No, it certainly doesn't. That's
just
quite right.
spend time with your little one. Don't think, I've got to get my macrame set out. And you don't have to do all that. Be there.
Be there for them. That's so lovely. And realistically, they won't remember it anyway if they're that young. Honestly, just crack on.
Can you remember those? I bet you don't even remember the hours and hours we spent making this castle out of toilet rolls. I had this mountain of toilet rolls, had you and Lily sitting there, and we paper mache'd them, created this huge. We were living in West End Avenue at the time.
Oh, okay.
We made this huge fairy castle, painted it pink, glitter
that's so
and everything.
cute.
It was hideous. But we spent so much time doing that. And it was more just spending time.
Doing it. Exactly.
And then it was like, oh my God. I think I threw it out. You can't even remember that.
No, I can't, no.
But don't put pressure on yourself to have to do something
big.
You know, it's just spending time with them.
That's lovely.
I love that.
Great tips. Okay, should we go on to question? Okay, question. Here we go. So I've got a serious question, so I will start us off. No, do I? No, I do, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay. So my serious question is, what is the thing you least expected when you became a mother?
If I'm being honest, it is that ridiculous, not just the explosion of love, that feeling of wanting to, I would kill anyone who tried to hurt my child. You know, it was that mother bear thing we talked about right at the beginning of the debrief.
How interesting.
That was the most surprising.
Okay.
Because I did have that period of time before having a child where I thought, shit, what if I don't like it? We talked about it. What if I don't like it?
Yeah.
And that huge reassuring feeling of, there's
boarding
boarding
school.
schools. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
But so I don't think I was I thought it's going to be hard graft, building love and doing all that. That was a beautiful, unexpected surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, how lovely.
Oh, that is lovely.
What's your silly question?
Eileen.
Silly question.
My silly question is, it's Mother's Day, okay?
Yes.
Would you rather
Yes.
your kids sing to you how much they love you? It's the length of a musical. There's acts, there's scenes, and it's all about you. Kitty has her own song where she goes, everything I love about myself is because of you. There's a whole segment, there's dancing, but you have to sit down and watch every year.
Okay. Every
Like
year.
every Mother's Day. No, it changes
it
based
changes.
on the things you've done that year.
Okay, cool.
You can have recaps of Christmases, holidays.
Okay.
But you sit down, you have to watch it every single year.
And it's
no
about
matter
an hour
how
and a half or
and
2
how-
hours.
It's about 2 hours.
2 hours.
You get an interval, and you can, but you have to sit down and watch it, and that's lovely.
Dad would hate it. Dad would hate it. He would hate that.
Or have a professional artist come in and paint you like a Renaissance painting every Mother's Day.
Mother of God.
That you have to hang in your house. So you're coming up the stairs and there's Mother's Days gone by where you
Oh my God, so like a modern family with
like a
jam
professional
and-
portrait
That's
where you
Wait, is it just of mum or of like
No,
all
just
of
of
them?
you.
Oh, fantastic.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. How embarrassing. Oh,
I would love to enter your home and just have it
Every
up the
Mother's
stairs.
Day up the stairs. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind one. I mean, Archie's mum, Sarah. What a woman.
What a woman.
She's been an artist for, a nude artist
what
for
was,
a
live drawing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
She's done it quite a few times.
To be that
amazing.
body confident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, she is like a...
She would pick that one.
Yeah. She's like, as long
She
as
goes,
it's naked,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. No, she's an admirable woman with how body confident she is with
I love it.
doing that,
Yeah.
with people
Wow.
drawing her
Oh my
naked.
God, that's
Can you
amazing.
imagine? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's a very easy choice.
Yes.
Because it also brings me back to your childhood because they used to do that.
I love it. Yes.
Mr. Bunny the musical.
And do you know what's so funny as well is how, like, as a child, you're just not switched on at all. Like, obviously, mum's loving it, and poor dad, like, he's sat there like, well done, girls, very good. Yep, very good. Very good. And he's just so sweet. He's like, you did so well, girls, you did so well. And the 2.5 hours of like a full act,
funny.
you know, and
You
dad's
acted
had
it beautifully.
dad's had full, you know it. But any talent I got was from you, so that's fine. But you know, dad's been a full week of work, and mum's had doing everything for us, and we're like, right, sit down for 2.5 hours. What we do?
Yeah, you had tickets as well.
We had tickets. Yeah.
You gave us tickets. We didn't have to pay, which was
Oh,
nice.
that's good. That's kind.
Actually, knowing me now, I'd make you pay,
would.
wouldn't I? So actually, if you could transfer me, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Oh, that's great.
Beautiful memory.
Well, we just want to say thank you so much for having you
Eileen.
on. Honestly, it was so nice. This is the first time I've had a family member on the podcast.
Probably the last, but anyway.
No, but thank you so much for coming on, and also to help other young women learn about what motherhood is like, but also for the women out there who are already mothers to just feel that it's all relatable, and for the women out there who are daughters like us to know what to do with their mums on Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So thank you so much. Thank you. We had a great
I'm
time.
not the guru or the font of all knowledge on motherhood, but to be able to
Contribute your bit.
and share my experiences has been absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
You're two wonderful girls. Honestly, you do this so well.
Thank you.
And it's been a real privilege, and thank you so much for being so gentle with me too.
Of course.
It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
And
thank
Debriefers,
you.
I hope you have a great Monday. Crack on.
Yeah.
Make sure you get those cards. Go to
Yeah, get them sent.
Celebrate your mum. All right. Do you want to wave her off, mum? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bye. See ya. Perfect.